the waker. So as you can see, there's an eye coming through the cloud. So this is enlightenment through fogginess. This is opening your third eye. This is opening your crown chakra. This is enlightenment. This is having awareness and reflection. This is giving yourself the time to meditate. As you see, there's cloudiness, so really sitting down, clearing your mind. This can be through, I'm getting automatic writing, or if you know about the artist's way, that these are the morning pages where you just clear out your mind, all the junk that comes through. And then the enlightened moments, writing 3 pages actually clears out your mind to the actual enlightened moments, your higher self coming through and giving you the clear cognizance of what your actual correct path is. If you're currently in a foggy situation, if you keep thinking about if you should make a decision, if you shouldn't make a decision, this is tapping into your higher self, your higher consciousness, your spirit guides, your intuition to give you the guidance through the fogginess, and really only listening to that intuition, even if your intuition doesn't match what you see on the outer. If your life looks foggy, and it's really taking that steps through your intuition, even if you can't see what your next step is. So it's trusting your third eye, it's trusting your intuitions, it's trusting your intuitive abilities, whatever they are, your intuitive senses. And if that's the third eye, if that's your claircognizance, that's clear knowing, or if it's clear feeling, if you're an empath. So it's really trusting, because all I'm going to say is, even when we are following your intuition, it gives us a light at the end of the tunnel. And so this is what this is the light tower. This is the, what are those things on islands called? Lighthouse. This is the lighthouse. Your intuition, your claircognizance, your third eye, your higher cognizance, your higher consciousness is the lighthouse to clearing yourself through the fogginess. And I will say that this is waking up. This is waking up to your true path. This is waking up to your true north. Maybe you're in you want to look at your astrology, and you want to look into your north path, your north gate, I forget what it's called, north node, and see if it's being aligned to clearing the way. And also, you might be a person that's actually waking up everyone else through the waker is someone I see waking up everyone else through their own enlightenment, through their own path, by following their own vision. They actually wake up everyone else around them, because they see you wake up, they see you live a higher consciousness lifestyle, and then it kind of gets them out of that cubicle state and be like, wait a minute, there is something else I could be living, because you're living this, so like wake up. So it gets them to wake up. We see that she has her crown down, and again, this is about your higher consciousness, this is about your crown chakra. Maybe there's an overactivation, and in that pause moment within meditation, you're able to clear that fogginess, and you're able to pause in order to connect, in order to, I'm getting like your emotions are thirsty, like taking a moment to take a pause and take a drink out of your own cup that you often offer everyone else. And the Princess of Cups, I believe in this deck, is the Page of Cups. We see him kind of not being intent with, he has all these torches, he has all these passions, but he's kind of just like throwing them out in the sky. He's kind of throwing them on the wall and seeing what sticks, kind of energy. And maybe you're in that energy where you're kind of just like in this fogginess, where you're just like trying to make things stick on the wall and trying to figure out what works and what doesn't work. But really, in the 7 Seven of Torches, you really need to be intent, and this can be also conflicting with other forces, other beings, maybe even, where you might be burning yourself out by throwing and then the wands come back at you and burn you out. You really need to be in your water energy. You really need to fulfill your own cup. Here we see the Princess of Cups. She's filling her own cup. She's taking a pause. But then we have the Queen of Cups, and in this energy, in this tarot deck, she's actually giving an almost like Four of Cups energy, or like Five of Cups, like, is that all? Is that all I have? But all around her, she has all this water. Like, she's looking at the last drop, like, really? Is that all I have? Is that all I have left? So this could be taking a moment to realizing you don't have enough for yourself. You have all this water all around you that you've been fulfilling for the world to drink up and to nourish the earth, but you have left none for yourself. So it's really taking a moment and giving yourself, I heard, giving yourself the privilege, allowing yourself to drink from what you offer the world. So like, your gifts aren't just for everyone else to enjoy. You can enjoy your gifts. You can see how others flourish from your gifts. You don't have to just, and then you give so much and then you're like, well, is that all? Is that all I have? Like, you don't have anything left. Even if she has all this water all around her, the Queen of Cups energy element, for herself, she's only given herself the last drop, and not even that. She's like, oh, like, it's, you're not acknowledging, and this is about like, you're burning yourself out, like, you're just throwing wands around. Like, what did I say? You're not being intent with how you're throwing your wands. You're not being intent in how you're throwing your power. You're not being intent in how you're using your power, that your energy is actually burning yourself out. And what does fire and water do? When fire is mixed with water, fire extinguishes water and it evaporates, and then there's none left for you to drink, even if everything's around you. So it's kind of the Five of Cups energy, where you're, or Four of Cups even, where you're more focused in the lack you have in your cup than how much you have all around. She could easily just dip the cup in the ocean, because that's her element, that's her power, but you're burning yourself out by just not being intentional with what your power actually is. What this is, having that awareness, coming back to yourself, feeding yourself, that swan energy, feeding yourself, nourishing yourself, and not being in Queen of Cups can be toxic in the sense of you give so much of yourself out that it's kind of that caretaker water energy. Water elements tend to give themselves out so much that kind of that Scorpio energy was like all or nothing. But then when you give all, how much do you have you left for yourself? And as we know about relationships, or even projects, or any relationship, work or romantic wise, or just like outside of relationships, even if we give so much of ourselves to everything and every project, and then when we try to come back to ourselves, we can't even give back to ourselves, because we're looking at our own cup and we're like, is that all? And look, you threw out all your Seven of Wands, you threw out all this passion, you threw out all these projects, you gave all these kinds of like, if these wands were people or projects or situation, you gave all this passion to them. You burnt everyone else's fire, you burnt everyone else's wind, you burnt everyone else's projects, you lit them up, you excited them. And then when it comes to you, it's like, are what you're lighting up is what people lit up by you, but are you, who's lighting you up, who's exciting you, who's nourishing you? You're not even nourishing yourself, because you're depriving yourself of the passion that you're sharing with others, of the projects, of the energy where you ignite all these wands. And while this power, Seven of Wands, gives a passionate, ignited, but it also gives an erratic, like you have no intent, there's no control, there's no focus, and you're kind of just like seeing what sticks. It just gives off like you have all of these, like if these were Ace of Wands, you're lighting everyone else's wands, but then your cup isn't filled. So emotional nourishment is really important to you right now, and it's really having that awareness of stepping out of that fogginess. But this is also if you're in a path of where you're not sure where to go. Seven of Wands energy tells me that, because it kind of, you can see how it kind of creates a path, like a dodgy little path where you can go from one wand to the next, and even if he's up high and it's creating like an obstacle course. So even if you're unsure, it's like following your intuition enough that you jump to the first wand that gets you to the first cloud, and then jumps to the next and the next. And often our intuition, our clear knowing, our gut feeling, it's not trying to figure out like, oh, how does this passion gets me there, or like, oh, if I'm curious about learning about Adobe Illustrator, does that mean I'm supposed to become a graphic designer as my purpose, or am I supposed to be an artist? No, it's our gut feeling. It's only the here and now. So it's like taking that gut feeling, taking that passion, igniting that wand in order to get you to the next cloud, and in order to get you in, like, our path doesn't have to be a straight course. So it's trusting that through awareness, through meditation, through that clarity, you will then, even if your path might be a little dodgy and people might question you, and that's exactly what I was saying in the beginning, where you might, through your own awakeness, through yourself waking up, you wake up others and you show others that how an alternative to the straight path, because a straight path doesn't work for everyone. What works for someone else might not work for someone. Someone might be comfortable with like knowing ABC. Other people like find that really boring and tedious and not a fulfilling life. While others, they like knowing what's next, so they like having that fulfillment of like, oh, I did A and then I did B and then C, because it creates this like going up a corporate ladder kind of aspect to their career, and makes them feel nourished and that they're a hardworking individual and that they've earned. But this Seven of Wands is telling you that one wand is going to ignite another, and they're all linked together. So when you light one wand, you're going to create a spiral effect. A Knight of Wands, this can be you or someone else, and this definitely corresponds with the Seven of Wands, that passion, that ignition. But you have to be careful that just the same with the Seven of Wands, the Knight of Wands they leave as fast as they come in. So they come in with this passion, but it's kind of like that trying to figure out what sticks in the wall. So this type of person, they could just like be messaging you or messaging lots of people, trying to light up lots of matches, lots of wands to see which one lights up, in the sense of like, this can be a player where they message a ton of people at the same time, and then they see which one responds first, and then whoever does, they kind of like go for it. This is just being careful, and this is someone that they might ignite you, but are you nourished? Do they nourish your emotions? Like, are you looking, about meditating and being aware of like what you're looking for, what's what you want, and really thinking, oh, this person has so much passion and they ignite me and they get me excited, but do they nourish my cup? And honestly, am I giving so much to this Knight of Wands that there's nothing left, that they'll malnourish me, that I'm not hydrating myself. I'm hydrating everyone else. I'm hydrating the earth. There's water on the ground, there's water on the sky, but I'm not drinking. I'm not hydrating myself. Alternatively, this is about reaching out to people for support, people coming to you for support. It's creating that community and reaching out to others when you feel malnourished, and giving yourself the space that people do want to help you out, but all you have to do is reach out. It's creating that community, and this could be through family, this could be investments, this could be someone investing in you. Things can be like projects, but at the end you have to look at yourself. So you are definitely in this depleting energy. Definitely in your head, we got, especially with the waker. So this is definitely waking up to your limiting beliefs, because the Eight of Swords, it's about like, this is self-perpetuated. Like this small little cage is actually self-perpetuated, and you can easily take off your blindfold and see clearly your reality in that this is just self-perpetuated. It's there to make you feel safe. Self-limiting beliefs make us feel safe and perpetuate this energy of our past life or past karma, and keep repeating the old life or the old stories to keep us safe, the ego, where we're not able. It's like depleting emotional energy. You don't want to see the support that you have, but there are people, it's just you're in this like, woe is me, my life sucks, no one's there for me, and you could be in the sense of just like staying in bed, texting, and just kind of like in your head, and texting people that kind of, or looking at social media that kind of feed these self-perpetuating self-prophecy, kind of limiting, where you're feeding on this like, oh, I don't have anything, when in reality you're the Queen of Cups. See all this water, see all this nourishment. Like water is low, it's so powerful that it's even able to carve out rock to make into islands. So it's really stop feeding into this victim. It's basically playing like this victim, like, oh, I have nothing, when in reality, like, you're the Queen of Cups. You're trying to go from torch to torch and trying to feed your cup, and none of it is being fed, because honestly, it's actually, it first comes from serving yourself. It first comes from feeding yourself. It first comes from taking that drink of water to yourself, rather than trying to ignite someone else to rush in knight in shiny armor to save you and to give you that emotional nourishment. That might be triggering for some of us to hear when we're looking outside of us to feed our emotional nourishment. But the problem comes when you don't nourish yourself, and you're in this, I mean, this is to this specific deck. So usually the Queen of Cups is about emotional maturity, just being in the flow and very feminine energy. She's in this energy of like, she knows, she's in water is very intuitive, and being able to give to others what you give back to yourself. So it could be like this Knight of Wands comes rushing in, but you're in this energy where, like, are you in this energy of self-love? Or are you this energy of like this Knight of Wands comes rushing in to like full of passion, but you don't see him because you're blindfolded, because you're completely victimizing yourself. But it all comes from first nourishing yourself, first hydrating yourself. Like you're literally dehydrated. Okay, we're gonna see what the tea leaf got. Lion, time to act. Elephant. This is about a long journey, either physical or mental, that will leave you wiser at the end. So with the elephant and the Seven of Wands or Seven of Torches. This is about like the obstacle that you will need to take. It will actually guide you to fulfillment. It will guide you for a lesson, and the lesson can be about, while nourishing others, while giving to the world, sharing your gift is important. How do you use that to nourish yourself? Do you leave enough for yourself to be hydrated, to be fed, to be emotionally balanced? Because if the Queen of Cups is emotionally imbalanced, then the rest of the world is, because 70% of the world is literally water, and or I don't know if that number's correct, but most of our body is water. So if you're not nourishing your body, if you're not nourishing your sense of self, then yeah, you're going to be in your head. Because if your body isn't nourished and your body is deprived, then your mind isn't clear. We need the base necessities, we need the base needs like food and water first, the root chakra, in order to be able to lift ourselves out and be able to see clearly our situation. Because if we don't feed our basic needs of hydration, then we're literally we're not thinking clearly. We're like, there's water all around, we have everything we need, we have more than plenty to nourish ourselves, but we're looking at our cup as like, is that all? And that's because we're depriving ourselves. We're depriving ourselves because we're not being clear on our intentions. We're more imbalanced in how we share our abilities. And I keep getting that sharing your abilities and being able to give those abilities back to yourself. We have leg. This is a stepping stone or stepping into a new experience. So I'm getting with the Ten of Pentacles and the Seven of Torches that through relationships, through a community, you're going to be able to